Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Yura and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to a brand new series on the channel called Overrush. A show in which I aim to provide a list of decks that are supported by a new product. This is going to not really be a full overview of an upcoming meta because it is not going to include decks that did not receive support. However, the goal of this is to provide a list of decks for you all to see what is potentially coming in the upcoming format. This is going to go all the way from the best decks in the room to decks that probably shouldn't even be touched on the channel at all. So strap yourselves in because we've got a lot to cover. This episode is going to be covering both the Eternal Genesis mini box, a brand new big box with a bunch of really exciting new cards, and the Quest of Transam structure deck, which is our I guess it's like our anniversary structure deck. It's the Road to Worlds campaign structure deck. We have a lot of decks to cover, and plenty of them have received a lot of support, surprisingly. Specifically, we have a deck that has received up to 11 cards total, maybe even one more. I'm not sure if I counted incorrectly, all the way down to a deck that received a single card. This will not be including a bunch of like separate variants that received like side grade support. I know things like High Tech can play the brand new Eternity Ether Dragon, which is this card right here, but I'm not really covering that stuff. This is more so to cover decks that received very specific archetypal support, or brand new decks altogether. We'll be covering these decks in order from most support to least support, and if you want to see any of these decks flesh out into more full deck profiles, because most of these will just be general overviews covering some of the new cards, please do feel free to leave your comments down below, and I will pick whatever decks get the most votes first to cover first on the channel for a full deck profile. With all that said though, let's hop into our very first deck of the day, Light Galaxy, with 11 new cards. So Light Galaxy is kind of weird. It didn't get a new skill, unlike a lot of other decks in this new format, but it did receive 11 new cards, which is the most out of any other deck that got support by 2. There is one deck that got 9, and then we go further and further down from there. But 11 new cards is a lot to work with. Unfortunately, a lot of them are what we call in the business not good or questionable or bad. Some of them are just straight up bad. One of them is a literal vanilla that I just don't even think is worth considering. But we did get a lot of other really sick stuff. And one of these, specifically Chaos Cool Stars, I'm currently counting as both for Light Galaxy and Dark Galaxy because it is intended to support both, so it goes in both. These will not be full deck profiles for each individual one of these, but I will provide at least a single replay for each deck showcase so you can get a general sense of how the decks are meant to play. We will still give a brief overview to everything because I feel like if I just show the deck list and then move on, that doesn't help anyone. So I'll go through a quick rundown of a bunch of the new things and kind of the key components that bring the deck into the new meta. And for Light Galaxy, it's this card right here. Transam Nebula Fusion is not the only new fusion spell that we got, and it is arguably not even the best, but it is a very powerful card. Transam Nebula Fusion gives Light Galaxy the ability to Miracle Fusion from the graveyard and or field. Actually, I take that back. Specifically, you have to send a thing from the field. It is not exactly Miracle Fusion. If you do not have a proper material on your board, this card's effect reads, send a Galaxy-type monster from your hand to the graveyard. Don't let that happen to you. It happened to me multiple times in testing because I'm dumb and I keep forgetting, but you gotta make sure you have a material on board. The materials for that, specifically, because this card is a little more restrictive, only letting you fusion summon monsters that mention Transam Linak, who is our good friend right here. We only have 2 targets for this, that being the new Transam Power Linak, who can get very big, specifically if you use Transam Epherai for its effect to shuffle back. It can get up to, I think it's 6,200, which is a massive number. That's crazy. And then we also have Transam Buster Linak, who is a bigger investment requiring 2 level 7 or 8 Galaxy type effect monsters, so you can't use Oblivion, but it is kind of like Materion Ashura Star, where it can blow up a face down, but also if you use this effect during the turn you fusion summon this card, it gets to 6,100 attack. So We got some more really big punchers, albeit they don't have the trap protection that Eternal Galactic Oblivion does, but you can get them out using resources in your graveyard, which is incredible. Apart from that, the deck isn't really all that different from previous incarnations. We have the Chaos Cool Stars, which is new, which is kind of like a draw cycling that doesn't actually suck. And we're also on 3 copies of Transcend FRI now because it works with power. The skill doesn't change though, so not much else is really different. You're still doing your same general plays. You're trying to fuse off Galactiara Eve for something like Fuse Eve. You're trying to get your extra Plurus into rotation to get milling and get things back. It's still generally the same deck. Although you'll notice we're not on the secret orders anymore. We're just kind of utilizing the skill to do that because I think the slots are much better fit by the Transcend Nebula Fusion, which is just generally a better card for extension. That said, I'm not fully sold on this deck. I don't think it's the worst deck in the room. It's certainly not the worst deck out of the new box, but it's got some weird kinks to it. And that's a little unfortunate because I feel like this is a deck that could very well be like a really solid contender for the upcoming format. I don't think it's like a bad. I just think that there are a lot of other decks in the current format that are generally outperforming it because they just have access to some better tools. Specifically, I think we are missing some like I know we're missing 2 of the other Transam fusions, but we're also missing like Transam Road, which I thought we were going to get, or something else. So I don't know. I think this deck is still totally fine. If you have the Light Galaxy cards, I do recommend you pick, like, at least give it a try because the deck is very fun. And this is our structure deck, so it's relatively cheap to pick up without, you know, needing to dig through an entire box. It will cost, unfortunately, money to get 3 copies of everything in there, but I don't know. I think this deck rocks. Even if you want to just do the 2 copies, because there is a free copy of the deck, I'm pretty sure the only thing you're missing out on is the 3rd Transcend Nebula Fusion, which you can just cut to 2 and then maybe play, I don't know, a second client in its place or another trap. But that said, that's all I have to say about Light Galaxy for now. Remember, again, if you want to see a full deck profile on this, feel free to let me know down below, and I will be sure to prioritize it if I see it the most. We'll go in order of the amount of things that I see people say they want. So we'll see. Up next, we've got Dark Galaxy, and I feel like it's only fitting for me to do this, but I'm going to change colors real quick. Dark Galaxy is arguably the best new deck in the format. I'm not saying it's the best deck in the format, but it is probably the strongest deck that received recent support. This deck received 9 new cards, of which we are playing a really large amount of them. I think we're actually playing all of them, if I'm not mistaken. We've got Stork, Dark Matter Explorer, White Rider, and then the fusions. I think. Oh, actually, you know what? This deck got 10 cards. I think I forgot Forbidden Requiem when I initially covered this. Regardless, this deck is phenomenal, and it does not play exactly the same as the previous version of this deck does. Unlike Light Galaxy, which is functionally just the same deck with some more of its tools, this is a very different axis to be playing Dark Galaxy on. You're not using the Dark Prophet engine. You're not using Chrysor to try and like OTK your opponent out of nowhere. This is a deck that is using a brand new skill, Requiem Contact, to make it significantly easier to both access Voidveil Requiem and field it, because it lets you treat any monsters on your field as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of Requiem itself. This deck focuses on Contact Fusion, because, you know, you'll see there's no fusion spell in here. And we don't actually have a full extra deck of them. We only have 3 separate cards, but these cards are unbelievable. Forbidden Requiem is, I know you can't really read its name. They kind of did a Black Skull Dragon thing here. But this card is forced to be at 1 because it's in a bundle for a very, very good reason. This card is absolutely terrifying when it gets going. Specifically, this card mills 3, gains 900, and then for every dark attribute Galaxy Deck monster with 1600 or more attack that you sent to the graveyard, you can pop cards on your opponent's field. This clears the board for a huge swing. Not only that, Dark Matter Requiem, the other main Requiem Contact fusion, is an insanely high damaging piercer. For the small cost of, during the main phase, you fusion summon this card, you can change a monster on your opponent's field to face down defense, then have this card gain 1300 and piercing. This guy gets up to 4300, which is a ridiculous stat number. I don't think this version of the deck is necessarily complete. I know some people have been playing Tyrfing. I myself am not super confident in this list exactly, but it does have some things that I've been seeing around that I really do want to try out. Namely, I was on Void Corridor prior to this, but instead I want to try out Void Veil Globule because it is another monster that you can make use of for just like tribute summoning, or you can use it as extra material for the separate contact fusion, which is Void Velg Beyond Probe. This is kind of like our extra plasma, being our back row removal, using Contact Dark Matter Explorer, which is the main contact material for both Beyond Probe and Requiem. But specifically, Forbidden Requiem uses Pale Rider and Requiem itself instead of the Dark Matter Explorer. So these are our two main contact materials. Beyond Probe, thankfully, being generic for its other material, which is very helpful. And 2000 attack for a spell trap popper is really not that terrible. It's kind of like our other big guy that we can get into if we don't have an ability to field another Requiem. However, fielding Requiem in this deck really isn't all that bad because we also have Void Velg Stork, which can either send a card from your hand to the graveyard to treat itself as Requiem, or send two cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard to treat itself as Contact Dark Matter Explorer. This card is genuinely unbelievable. It's maybe the best card in the entire deck, which is really crazy considering that we have White Rider, who is another consistency piece for the deck. This is, if you want to try out any deck out of the brand new box and have success with it on ladder, I think some variant of Dark Galaxy is absolutely the way to go. This deck is unbelievably strong. However, this is not the only way to play the deck, and I'll show off the other version that I have been seeing around right now. So the other version of Dark Galaxy is Tyrfing. This is a deck that has been around for a while. This is a pretty old skill at this point, but this deck does, well, previously did one thing only, and that is kill your opponent into the sun with a boosted up piercing Chrysaor that can attack him multiple times and potentially wipe your opponent's board. The new support for Dark Galaxy actually gives this deck something else to do that isn't just hope you stick a Chrysaor and that it does the job. Instead, we can now supplement this package with the Dark Galaxy Contact Fusions, which really helps this strategy because you don't need to like try to fit in the fusion spells or the Dark Prophets, and instead you can just make good use out of the fact that most of this deck just kind of works on its own. You don't even need to tribute summon the Requiem. You can just go Stork to turn itself into Requiem to access your contact fusions that way. You can also play this deck with the new Dark Matter like contact fusion skill. I've actually tried that prior to this, and it's kind of interesting. I think there is still kind of a reason to do it. I'm just not sure if it's fully like better because Tyrfing does, you know, search out Tyrfing, kind of the namesake of the deck. So I'm not really sure. This is a very straightforward deck. It kills your opponent into the sun, and it has no defensive pressure to speak of whatsoever. It doesn't play any trap cards at all. It doesn't need to. This deck just pumps out an insane amount of damage. It is very cheesy. It will steal wins off of anything that is unprepared for it. And it's Tyrfing. I don't know what else you want me to say. It's Tyrfing. So with that said, let's hop to our next deck. Next up, we've got dragons, kind of. If I sound a little less enthusiastic, it's because I don't actually believe this deck is all that crazy. It's a weird deck, and this is not the only way to play it. I've actually seen a couple of builds running around. I saw a build on Twitter that was the Gaia cards slapped in here, which seems actually kind of interesting, although there isn't really a great skill to use for that, because I think Chivalrous Celerity locks you out of the bigger dragon cards that you want to use, and both dragon skills lock you out of the Gaia cards. Actually, that's not true. This skill right here, Destiny Draw Divine Dragons, doesn't. So if you wanted to play Gaia, if you had any attachment to those cards, I think you could probably, you know, make this skill work just fine. Destiny Draw Divine Dragons works pretty much the same way that all of the Destiny Draw skills in Rush Duel Links works, where it puts the face of the deck, in this case, the Eternity Ether Dragon, which is a really, really good card. Don't get me wrong. This card is phenomenal. On top of your deck, and then it lets you draw 6 instead of 5. And then you can also treat any monsters on your field as 2 tributes for Eternity Ether Dragon, which is very nice. This deck is weird. It uses this like Dragon of Darkness package as a method to cycle both your level 9 dragons, which Eternity Ether Dragon is, through the use of something like Evil Dragon of Darkness, and Shadowbringer Dragon to get the Evil Dragon of Darkness back to your field, and using Volcano Black Dragon as an easier way to get the Eternity Ether onto your field while still netting you additional hand advantage. However, for anyone that is actually familiar with these cards at all, you'll know that, like, that's not specifically how this deck is meant to function. These Shadowbringer Dragons cards actually have fusion monsters that you're supposed to be using here, being the Evil Dragon Knight of Darkness and the Full Moon Dragon Umbra Lancer F, which is a ridiculous name. However, there's a weird caveat here. So the other skill that you could be using for these cards, let me find it real quick, is Darkness Returns. Darkness Returns is a skill that reads, can be activated from turn 2 onward by revealing a Dragon Knight of Darkness, which is this vanilla here, who I always thought looks pretty cool, Evil Dragon of Darkness, or Shadowbringer Dragon from your hand if all level 7 or higher monsters in your constructed deck are light or dark attribute Dragon type monsters with 2500 or 2000 attack. Then you can reveal a dark attribute Dragon type monster from your extra deck, then add a monster with a card name listed on it as material from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Then you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, add a fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So here's the weird thing about this. These cards all work just fine for the skill requirements. However, this, I don't remember if it's one of these guys, or maybe it's one of the cards that is mentioned here. Is it Nightbringer Dragon, I think? Nightbringer. I can't type. I'm so sorry. Nightbringer Dragon. This card cannot be used with the skill. So that's strange, right? Weird on its own. But also, like, I feel like if you're going out of your way to make use of these high dragon monsters, the main one that you're actually going to want to be using is Evil Dragon Knight of Darkness, but that requires you to play a level 6 vanilla, which, like, why? Well, I don't see the payoff here, right? And the other one requires you to be playing Dragon Bat, which is a much lower level vanilla. So it's a strange package to try to slot in, and instead, I think this variant of the deck that is just kind of focusing on the fact that Eternity Aether Dragon is a hard once per turn pop of any card on your opponent's field for the cost of 500 life points, and it being the turn that you summon this card is already significantly better. This deck is playing a lot of trap cards to kind of facilitate this strategy, and it's the first appearance of our brand new, really phenomenal generic monster in Balloon Boutier? I don't actually know how to pronounce this name. I'm just going to call her Balloon Girl because I like her a lot and she's really cool. She will make an appearance later, but she is very, very good in this deck, getting you access to the Evil Dragon of Darkness that you send off the top of your deck. And then because Evil Dragon of Darkness is during the main phase that you normal or special summon this card, you can use its effect immediately, unlike a lot of other cards in this format that just read, typically it's during the main phase that you normal summon this card. So you can get your play started like that, and I think that's really, really cool. This deck is very straightforward, but it has a lot of very powerful pieces to it, and I'm very excited to showcase this deck because it is actually the one that I probably have the least personal experience with, and I'm just generally really excited to try it out. Milling is a big thing here, so we're also on the new legend card of Card Trooper, who, God, I'm so happy to see this card. It's going to make Gradius even better. I think this rocks. I'm really excited to try out the new Gradius build that's been popping up, but that's not currently in this video. That's kind of like a separate side thing that might come to the channel at some point. However, I've said quite enough about this deck. Let's see the next one. Okay, full honesty, this deck was not originally in the recording for this video. This is editing Yura right now, coming back later because I was editing through this and I was like, oh, you can play it with the Gaia cards. And I'm like, can you? I saw a deck list, but it was using a really bad skill and had some card choices that I personally didn't really agree with. So now I'm curious. This is a pretty much untested brew. I have no idea if this is actually what this deck would look like, if this would be like, you know, further tested or try to grind up on the ladder. But it is a concept that I do kind of really enjoy. Balloon Boutier is a phenomenal card still. It works really well with Evil Dragon of Darkness, but it also gets you access to like Curse of Dragon on board, which can then be treated as one tribute for Battle Tested Gaia, and then that can make one of the powerful Gaia cards. And because Conqueror of Champions is no longer on the limited list, it lets you run just like Pot of Greed, which I actually don't know if it's been limit 1 for a while, but I haven't seen the Gaia cards in a while, and I know in my intro to Rush Duel Links, I recommended people pick up the Gaia deck because it is still decent enough. It hasn't really done anything recently, but like people have these cards. It's a free deck that you get, and I feel like why not showcase it a little bit? But with that said, we're going to leave the dragons behind and check out something new. Fat Chesters, behold, your king is here. The Dork Magician returns, and God, is it weird. This deck is so strange. I am going to be completely, perfectly honest with everyone watching this video. If this deck turns out to be decent, I don't know if it's this build. I have had such a miserable time trying to get this deck to work on ladder. In theory, it's got a lot of really interesting tools. Unfortunately, the big like new boss that it got, Dark Eradicator Sorcerer, is functionally a vanilla most of the time. He's meant to be used in this variant of the deck that exists where you just mill a bunch of spells into your grave and then you can shuffle them all back and do like a pop, which is nice in theory. However, the games kind of don't last that long. And if you're getting to the point of the end game where he's actually activating his effect, you probably could have won the game before that, because we currently play 14 spells. Getting them all into rotation, minus 4 of them, is kind of difficult. There's just a lot, like the skill is decent at doing it. Illusion of Execution is a brand new skill, and it's actually really solid. It allows you to activate the top 3 cards of your deck so long as you meet the requirements. And then you can add any spell from the excavated cards to your hand and send the remaining cards to the graveyard, which is very powerful, don't get me wrong. And then it allows you to mail a Dark Magician from your deck to the graveyard. Like, it's a good skill. It's just that this deck, unless you're playing Thousand Knives, it doesn't really have a good way of beating high attack monsters unless you exactly open the otherwise unsearchable Dark Resonance Burst, which, don't get me wrong, card's very funny. Card makes you go up really big, but I just don't know if it's enough. It's a weird deck for sure. I think it's very cool. I would like to see us get some more of the legend monsters. I guess, what are they called? Legendary? Legendary, yeah. Some more of these cards I think would help this deck a lot. Even like Ship of 7 Treasures would also go nuts, but I think they're a little too afraid of getting that card into the game because there's a lot of other level 7 decks that could make good use of that and not just Dark Magician. Red Eyes would go nuts. I mean, Red Eyes has its own problems, but you get what I mean. Ship of 7 Treasures would maybe be too good right now. That said, I think this deck is still fun. The times when this deck does pop off are very funny at the very least, so you got that going for you. Otherwise, we just kind of have some other consistency pieces. Dark Magician's Curtain has been in the game for quite a while. It just allows you to add Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girls from you that you excavate at the top of your deck to your hand. And then we have Wizened Dark Magician, who is a cycler for specifically dark spellcasters, and then you can reborn a Dark Magician that's in your graveyard, but we already have like 6 ways of doing that, so you know, it's maybe a little bit overkill. I've seen a couple of different versions of this deck running around. I've seen Legendary Magician plus Amazing Dealer to kind of cycle through your hand a little bit more. I've seen, instead of Pot of Greed, Thousand Knives and like Hammer Shot as the legend slot, or Pot of Avarice if you still want the draw power. There are ways to tinker with this deck. I just think it's currently lacking a little bit of tools, which is a shame because it got 6 new cards. At least I think it's 6, right? Something like that. It does get to wield Dark Magic Attack, which is Heavy Storm, which is, you know, pretty good card. It's really solid. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of like back row that this deck really cares about, because a lot of the stuff that you could be doing, just like, I don't know, there's ways around it. It's weird to talk about this deck because I feel like I've had nothing but just like misery while trying to pilot it. And maybe that's a skill issue on me and y'all have much better success with it. I would be very happy to take another crack at this in a full deck profile in a future time. But for right now, this is what we're working with, and I'm content to leave it at this, and we'll show it off in some games as with the rest of these decks. All right, next up, we've got maybe my favorite deck of the bunch, Wonders of 7, as I have titled it. Spellcasters got 3 new cards in this new set, and this version is making use of exactly one of them, if I'm remembering correctly. Yep, it's exactly one, but that card is 7's Wonder Fusion. And this card is unbelievable. It is Miracle Fusion for monsters that mention 7's Rogue Magician. Believe it or not, that's nearly the entire extra deck, and is a very, very powerful. Having a better way of extending past a shiny shady is quite literally everything this deck needed. It is so good. I don't think it's necessarily top of the meta. I got it wrong before. I'll be wrong again. That's fine. I don't think it outpaces Red Eyes still. I think Dark Galaxy might still be better than it. But God, is this deck so much fun. I have been grinding ladder mostly with this deck because I've just been having such an incredible time with it. This deck brings no end of joy to me. I adore the 7 Sphere package still. I think it's so sick. Strange Witch is still solid. Like, the general card pool for this deck is so much fun to play with, and Master Excel Road is still a phenomenal skill. If you've seen my 7's Road deck profile already, which y'all, good lord, you have been absolutely killing it with the support on that video specifically. It makes me so happy to see the deck that I care the most about doing so well, both on the channel and also on the ladder. I love playing these cards. I think it's so sick. I don't even know if this is the final version of the deck, but I love it. I love it so much. Although you'll maybe wonder why we're not playing the other 2 cards from the new support wave. And to talk about that, I'm going to have to talk about the other version of this deck. So we'll hop over there real quick. So 7's Chariot is it's got one major issue. This guy is a limit 1, which I know doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but cutting spellcasters off Pot of Greed, that's pretty bad. That's pretty rough. And like, I get it, right? I understand why this guy is limit 1. It is to make it so that 7's Chariot, an otherwise pretty serviceable boss monster, is a little harder to access. However, this version of the deck did actually receive a new skill. 7's Wonder Excel can be activated from turn 2 onward by revealing a 7's Road Magician, Swordsman of Roadstar, Gear Pull to the Magically Armored Beast, who is our new Limit 1 friend, or Fusion in our hand if all the effect monsters in our deck are spellcasters. And then this lets us add 7's Road, Swordsman, or Fusion from our deck or graveyard to their hand. And then we can set a level 6 or 7 spellcaster type monster from your deck to the graveyard. So this is meant to set up 7's Wonder Fusion, obviously, because this gets the gear pulled into the graveyard. But notably, this doesn't search out 7's Road Witch. You can still send Witch to the graveyard to set up for Strange Witch, which is, you know, that's pretty cool. But I don't know. This version of the deck really has not been clicking with me, despite the fact that it is very similar to the other variant. There's like really not that many cards that are different. Notably, this version of the deck is on 7's Road Sorcerer because I do think it is interesting in this version of the deck to be able to like get like Road Magician and like Witch back onto the field, and then use Wonder Fusion to get the Gerpul that's in the graveyard and the 7's Road that is on field away into the Chariot, and then you can use the Witch to set up for additional plays. Like, there are interesting things to do here. I'm just not sold on this variant being better because I think Hammershot is a significantly worse legend card to be playing than someone like Pot of Greed. I could be on Pot of Avarice, but this deck already shuffles back a bunch of cards through the use of the 7's Wonder Fusion, so I'm torn. That said, I will still be covering both of these in a single game at the end of the video, so stick around for those if you want to see the differences. Next up, second to last, we've got Excutie, which received a total of 2 new cards. Technically 3 if you count, you know, Card Trooper, but that's not this wave, so I don't really count it. If you saw my Excutie video, which a good chunk of you have, that profile is actually doing pretty well. Thank you so much for that, by the way. This deck was weird. I said it definitely needed some additional support to like do anything, and it technically got more support. We got 2 cards. We got Balloon Girl, who is maybe the best new main deck monster. She is phenomenal for this strategy. But we also got Excutie Leia Frontier. This card is so good. This card is unbelievable. It still doesn't fully solve the deck's issues. We still don't have good ways of getting over high-setted monsters consistently, like something like, you know, Meteor Black Dragon, kind of the best thing in the format right now. But she does give us some additional draw power and helps us find some, you know, pieces of the non-engine that we were having trouble finding. I think Card Trooper also helps this significantly. Additionally, you know, Balloon Girl is also very good for this. Her having the mill and being able to summon 6s or lowers is explicitly important for this deck full of level 6s. Not only that, she's a normal summonable monster, so we are no longer running into the issue of just having a bunch of high-statted monsters in our hands that we just can't put to the field because we just happen to not draw the Lumiere or like the zombie girls that we were running in place. We have significantly better methods of actually milling monsters now, and we have better payoffs too. This is not the same deck that we were playing before. I know it looks similar, but it is playing at such a higher speed now, and it can actually more consistently put up a fight against a lot of the better decks. I don't think it's meta. I'm not gonna say that, but it's so much more fun than it used to be. We also got access to Star Protector's protection since I last played, and this card is phenomenal in this deck. It helps stall, which this is a control deck and wants to stall, so you know that's great. In theory, this deck has so many new tools to play around with that I am just so unbelievably excited to be playing it again, even though it does kind of struggle into the current format. So, you know, we're having fun with it at the very least. Skill still sucks. I would love to see that I not have to play this skill because we could just get the rest of the cards that were in the skill into the actual game, that we could play like a generic skill, like, I don't know, Avaricious Draw or Destiny Draw, Pot of Avarice, whatever that skill is called. Unfortunately, we're still stuck with Lilia's Contact for now. I'm hoping that changes someday, soon, ideally, but it is what it is. I know this deck's weird, but it's fun, so, you know, we take those. With that, though, let's move on over to our final deck. And with this, we arrive at our final deck of the day. Hero has received a single new card, and it has warped how the deck is built kind of significantly. The card that we received was Elemental Hero Heliosphere. This card is arguably good enough to just cut Clayman from the deck entirely. We just don't need Thunder Giant anymore. Why is that? Because this is now the single greatest Rising Hero Argent target of all time. This now lets you choose a monster that can search any of the three Avian Burstinatrix or Sparkman. This is such an absurd consistency boost to an already very consistent deck, and it's very, very good. In my mind, the top decks of the current format are going to be Red Eyes, Dark Galaxy, and Hero retaining its spot. I cannot overstate how just a single extra deck monster makes this deck so much better. It is unbelievable. It's also like not hard to set up either. Getting a Voltic Wingman on board functionally already gets you most of the way there, and then the Voltic Wingman can just make this guy, who is like draw power, and if it's a monster, removal. Heliosphere is phenomenal. Fantastic stats, fantastic effect, fantastic materials. It does so much for this deck. And the rest of the deck is honestly still kind of Hero. We've just taken out the Claymans because they're not good enough, unfortunately. I think this list could still use a little bit more tinkering. Maybe cut the Shiny Shady down to 2 and add like a second Avian Spell Tactics. I do want to try Card Trooper in here. This is something that I saw in another list. I want to give it a shot. I think the milling is really solid here. It's also additional draw power, which, you know, this deck appreciates. I think this deck is very, very likely to stay tiered and even maybe move up to like tier 1. This deck is phenomenal. With all that said, though, we have covered every deck that has received new support in the coming format. Technically, there are still other decks around in the format, but I hope this served as a decent way of showing you the kind of decks that are going to be appearing in the upcoming format. And now it's time to see them all in action. Folks, I won't lie, I'm kind of in the blender on this one with Light Galaxy. I have not gotten a good duel in like 7 duels. So we're going to see if this changes. Yes, I am eating something. Don't worry about it. I've been at this for a while. I'm getting kind of tired. We're going to set 3 cards and pray our opponent just can't kill us. Go ahead. Have fun. I was chewing. I'm so sorry. They're going to go Master Excel Road, reveal Swordsman and Roadstar. And this is the old skill, which is actually kind of more terrifying for me, I think. But Shiny Shady actually can potentially deal us pretty well. I can't speak. I'm so sorry. My brain is becoming mush after staring at Light Galaxy cards too much and just losing over and over and over again. They're going to mill a 7-Dread Witch to the graveyard, which means that this Lily Seller can now be treated as true tributes for a tribute summon. Hi. We're going to Shady that. I think it's actually better to get the Extraplore Engrave. And then we're going to flip you face down. I'm hoping that Shady is enough to kind of like stave off death, but we'll see. They're going to summon Dark Sorceress, out a card. And what do you got? That it? If that's it, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, hi, Witch. They don't have... Yeah, they can't get another guy out. So we're just going to lose our field, which is fine. We do have the Oblivion in hand that we can use for skill fodder. Spawn a card in. Let's drop to 5 and see what we're working with. Klein is a pretty solid start, actually. What do I add back? The Explorer, maybe, for an additional draw? I actually don't mind that. That seems pretty solid. Let's go Klein. Ooh, shady. Okay. Gotta watch out for that. I can only add back normal monsters. What the hell am I talking about? Galactic Confusion draw. We're going to send you draw. And ooh, that's a pretty good one. We'll get the fusion into rotation. Part of me actually does want a Chaos Cool Stars here. So I'm going to. Come on, shady me. I know you want to. Wow, that's an incredible rip. All right, let's go Eve. Fusion. Fuse these two off for Galactica Fuse Eve. Anything here? Sacred Tower in Collapse. Okay. Yes, chef, whatever you say. That's the new trap card that exists in the format. And personally, I'm not sold on it. I don't think it's that good. It seemed pretty devastating there, I know, but we can kind of play through this. Let's go Explorer effect. We're going to send 2. Those are really unfortunate mills. We're going to add back the Lilac and the Fusion. We're going to summon out this Lilac. Did not mean to do that, but okay. I love misclicking. It's fine. 3K guy is just going to have to be enough. It's just going to have to be enough. Let's punch in. End our turn, and pray to God, this is looking like a TCG end board. It's with one big guy and one trap card. Please defeat me. Pot of Greed. Oh, good lord. Trap hole on their Witch is gonna just have to get me there. Please don't have Magical Eye Stream. That's not good. That's very not good. Now they get to get around my trap hole. They didn't just rip the Magical Eye Stream side. Huh? Saturnius Orb? What? I mean, yeah, I guess that. Yeah, these are 6s. I suppose I see the line. They're gonna send a Sorcerer draw 2. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, fair enough. You got me. What are we doing about this? Dying? Probably dying. If I had to guess. They still got a 5-card hand to work with, and they haven't activated their skill. Speaking of, here's Master Excel Road. They're going to reveal Roadstar, add a Magician, just the one so they don't have to send. Here's Witch, which effect is going to discard a Mystic Dealer to the graveyard to summon out the 7th row Magician. Hello, Magician. God, I can't wait to play this deck. It's so fun. Do they have Fusion in rotation? I imagine they have to. Yep, here it is. Here's Charmy Witch. We know they're also going to have the Roadstar Gladimagia because they revealed a Resource and a Roadstar in hand. So at the very least, we're going to take a nice chunk of damage here. Charmy Witch is going to send off the top of the deck to switch us to defense and get Piercing. Here comes Roadstar, I imagine. Yep. Magician is going to mill the Nobody Phantom Thief. And then Contact Fuse. Set. Battle Phase. You know, that makes sense. 800. Wait, am I dead? Just barely no. Good lord. All right, let's try and make something happen here. Drop to 5. Decent ones, actually. Hang on. We might not be out of this. Our grave is pretty nicely set up for Buster. I just gotta worry about that back row. Can I try to draw into Universal Storm? I think I do. Let's go Galactic Fusion draw. Send you draw. I'm the greatest to ever do it. Lilac. Sick. Oh, it's a Shady that couldn't do anything. Yes. All right, we have Lilac and Grave. So we're actually going to... No, I can't. This has to send... This is Buster in a Dream. We're going to send FRI. Summon out I'm very stupid. Because I don't have a face on anymore. I can't Buster. I'm dumb. I'm so stupid. Oh, I should have summoned the FRI. I'm so bad. I had this game won. Oh, I feel so dumb. Man. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. We're going to shuffle back the FRI and the Linak, although I don't really think this is going to matter. We go up to 62. Oh, I can't believe I threw that by not summoning the FRI for that. Oh, I was too focused on Buster and I forgot. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? You'll have to forgive me. I'm terrible at math. All right. Hey, Yura, what's 6,000 minus 1,000? Or, I don't know, 4,000? Let's go to the next one. All right, hopping in with Dark Galaxy, arguably the best deck out of the new box. We're going to do Spellcasters, which is pretty formidable with the new stuff. So let's see what we've got here. A handful of cards that are just going to sit on my board. All right. I think I just want to keep that White Rider. So let's set these 3 and pass it back. Do you have the kill me button? Down comes Amazing Dealer. Ooh, I'm on this build. They're going to send 1, 2, and 3 and draw up. That is an entire Master Excel Roadhead if I've ever seen one. What did they find? 7's Wonder Excel. It's the new skill. They're going to reveal Fusion. One of the benefits of playing this version of the deck is you don't have, or you can actually reveal Fusion for your skill as opposed to the other one where you have to reveal one of the 3 monsters here. Although I'm not fully convinced that this is the better version of the deck, but you know. We're going to add Swordsman of Roadstar to hand and then send the 7 Sphere Magician. Oh, that's cute. I do actually kind of like that. That's neat. We're going to set. That is a very dangerous play to make into a Dark Galaxy player. All right, here we go. We're going to flip you up. Rip this Universal Storm. Hit a Fusion. That doesn't really do anything. We can flip up this Globule and this Contact Dark Matter Explorer and go for a Contact Fusion into Beyond Probe using these 2. We're going to eat another one of their back rows here. Oh, Shiny Shady. Definitely have one back there. Is it you? Ah, it's the other one. Maybe I'm crazy. What if I did it again? I'll do it twice. I don't really care. What do I gotta lose? I still got my skill. I'm chilling. All right, there's the Shiny Shady. We're fine. Okay, they're gonna flip those guys down. That's totally fine by me. Let's go Requiem here. Oh, ooh, no. Gotta do the skill first. Very important. What do I want off this, actually? I have White Rider, so I don't even really need to do the draw. I kind of want Pale Rider. Pale Rider with that. I think I want another Requiem. You know, I'll get greedy. I'll be greedy. We greed in this house. Let's go, White Rider. Nope. Nope. Thank you. I appreciate that. Put these 2 back. Let's tribute summon Requiem. Over you. Contact Fuse away into Forbidden. I'm trying to think if I want to do... I mean, yeah, I guess I am. We'll tribute you for Explorer. Shuffle you away. Let's go Requiem. And it's a whiff. Unfortunate. Stork can actually get over the Amazing Dealer. It can get over both of them because we know what they are. But I'm going to do the guaranteed one. And then this is Swordsman of Roadstar. Oh, it's Mystic Dealer. Punch it for 39. All right, let us see what my opponent has. And they're going to scoop it up. They did not find an answer. All right. Dark Galaxy getting a nice win. That felt really good. That turn was really sick. Let's hop over to Tyrfing. Hi, it's me, John Tyrfing. Oh, we share a voice actor. This is going to be fun. I got an archive skill. Hi, my name is John Zuijo. I'm ranking up. Yeah, that's a hand. That sure. This is a... Actually, this is not a great hand. I have to reread Tyrfing, I'm going to be honest. It's been a little bit. Yeah, mill 3. If a monster with 600 or more attack percent of the graveyard, you can add one of those and you got a Tyrfing. Yes, chef. Yes, chef. Yes, chef. Understood. We got Chaos Cool Stars, which is a really neat part of this deck. It actually helps cycle and, you know, find our boss monsters, which this deck kind of does need to do. If our opponent just goes set 3 pass here, there is a very likely chance that they just explode. So we're going to find out. This Counterfact in hand is actually really nice because most of our deck is monsters. So if we do manage to mill a boss, well, that's pretty good. So we can at the very least get this Requiem back guaranteed. So I'm going to leave this Chaos Cool Stars and do exactly that. We're going to send the Requiem to draw. Globule is not exactly what we were looking for. Let's go Cataphract. Why can't I activate my skill? Am I missing something? Turn 2 onward. All monsters intersect their Dark Galaxy monsters. You have a normal monster. Yes, chef. Understood. Let's go Cataphract. Mill. Hello, Chrysaor. That's very stupid. We're going to add the Chrysaor. Yeah, that's... Yeah. We're going to lead this Hoplite, a card that I cannot pronounce. Let's go Tyrfing the Destroyer. Mill and add. We can add the Pale Rider, actually. That's pretty sick. We're going to add Tyrfing here. And then we could get to Tribute Summon our Chrysaor using a U and U. Nothing here. Okay. We can actually go Contact Dark Matter Explorer here to make our Contact Fusion Beyond Probe. This is a very nice addition to this deck because otherwise this Chrysaor is relatively unprotected. Let's go Beyond Probe. Let's try to pop one of these back rows. I'm assuming it's going to be Fusion. This is probably just like Hero or something. Let's go Chrysaor Effect. Mill. We get 3 attacks. We get to go Tyrfing. And our opponent is probably just going to just die here. It's Tyrfing. It like... If they don't have anything, this is Tyrfing. It sure is Tyrfing. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Cool. That's Tyrfing, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Let's go next. I don't know what you want me to say. It's Tyrfing. All right. Next up. All right. And with dragons, we got the classic Luke versus Yuga. Although I'm not on the normal dragon build. Let's say that right now. But I am really excited to be playing this deck. It has a lot of really neat little synergies. And I'm very, very excited to see them in action. So let's hit this whole hand. Really solid start, honestly. We're just going to rip this Star Protectors of Protection literally the second we get the chance. Probably going to put the Evil Dragon of Darkness in the graveyard. Just because I want to engrave... No, I'll put the Phoenix Dragon because we get swapped to attack position by something like Curse of the Rising Land. I don't want to instantly die. Seven's Wonder Excel is going to be activated here. They're going to reveal Fusion. Add Seven's Robe Magician to hand. Send Witch. Do they have a Strange Cat in hand? That is a very cool part of this. Yeah. Getting able to do this is very, very cool. I do like this a lot. Here's Magical Stream for our final card. Goodbye to Widespread Ruin. I will miss you dearly. Seven's Robe Witch is going to activate, ditching a card to summon out the Seven's Robe Magician. I know they have a Fusion in hand, so they're going to activate it and get the Piercing guy online. Yeah, they're going to mill their own Widespread, you know, even the game out a little bit. Hi, my name is Evil Dragon of Darkness. I'm evil and I'm dragon. We're going to go combat. Hit over our Balloon Girl, and then they can't attack again because we have the trap active. Let's go activate the skill. Give me Eternally Ether Dragon, please. Wow, some really good ones. Okay, what are we doing here? Let's go Card Trooper. Troop and Dupe. 3 cards, please. Send you to the graveyard, draw 1. Phoenix Dragon's pretty solid. Let's go Volcano Black Dragon. Volcano Black Dragon effect. We're going to summon out Eternity Ether Dragon. Draw a card. Eternity Ether Dragon's going to go... you. And then what am I doing? Got another Volcano Black Dragon in the graveyard. I guess I could get that. That's good enough. We'll send you to the graveyard. Get ourselves our Volcano Black Dragon. Because you can summon yourself over the Phoenix Dragon for free. Let's go combat. In for 4, in for 2k, and in for 2k. All right. We still got a Shady online. Let's see what they got. Drop to 5. Seven's Wonder Excel is going to get activated again. Oh, hi, Gearpold. John Limit 1. Add 7's Repetition, send 7's Repetition. I assume they have Wonder Fusion. Roadstar. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Here's Witch. I'm going to go on a limb and say they don't have Magical Stream. Oh my god, I'm getting so rewarded for not doing anything. So if they do still have Wonder Fusion, this at least guarantees that we don't just explode. Yeah, there it is. They are still going to get to go Seven's Chariot, which is still a very scary card. Chariot's going to pop 1 card. Eternity. The Volcano Black Dragon. I guess they're going to punch over the Eternity. Ooh, they're going to punch the Volcano Black Dragon, actually. Well, we're going to go Destiny Draw Divine Dragons again. Oh, that's not good. It's probably fine. Let's go Shadowbringer Dragon. Oh, please activate that. Oh, please activate that. Oh, activate it. Come on, activate it. Come on, activate it. Yeah. They're going to pitch Shady for Shady. They're going to set their guy face down. Joke's on you. Curse of the Rising Guy. That didn't actually do what I wanted to do. Well, it's all right. But it's tribute over. Eternity Aether Dragon. Blow you up. And set. And set. And set. And punch. Very straightforward deck. I have 3 big dragons on the field right now. I feel kind of like Seto Kaiba right now. It's a very pretty card. I really hope we get the black Overrush rare at some point. I think that art is really sick. We are going to protect our life a little bit. Seven's Wonder Excel comes out again. They're going to add Swordsman of a Roadstar, mill the 7's Fear. Here's Strange Witch. Summon back the 7's Road Witch. Do they have a fusion in rotation? They do. Yeah, they used it earlier. I think I have to let that go. Am I good and greedy? Yes. Oh, hi, Gearpold. That's fine. Here's Fusion. Yep. Charmy Witch. That is getting Giga Shadied. Gain some life back. Yep, Wonder Fusion. That's what I was afraid of. Okay. So they're going to get to make their second 7's Chariot. They only get 1 attack here. What do I actually still have left in deck? I still have a Shadowbringer. Okay, that's massive. I have a Shadowbringer. I have a Volcano Black. I think some back row still. Okay, it gets a little bigger. Draw last 5. Shadowbringer Dragon. Summon out Evil Dragon of Darkness. Why can't I? There's no cards in deck. I'm losing to deck out. No! Oh, that's so unfortunate. All right, they got it. GG's. That was a close one. I'm going to leave that in. I'm down to show losses here. I think I showed off what the deck is meant to do. Really cool deck. I'm really excited to tinker around with it a little more because I do like the general concept on display here. I think there is maybe some changes that I might want to make going forward, but you'll probably see that in a full deck profile if that actually does happen. All right. Fair warning. Deck has not been tested whatsoever. We're going to see what happens here. I assume we're into like Hero because Hero has been everywhere. Same with Red Eyes. Lilia's Contact. Yeah! Cool deck! This hand looks interesting, I guess. What are we doing here, actually? I think we're just drawing up a 6, right? And we're going to pray that the other card that we draw that is not exactly Eternity Ether Dragon is, like, good. Actually, wait. Eternity Ether Dragon can be treated as you can use 2 tributes for any of these. Balloon Batier! Yay! They're going to mill Plotty and a Lumiere. Fantastic mills for them. I assume it's the Plotty. Yep. Because the Plotty makes the new Leia Frontier, which is a really, really good. High Ram. That card is not what I'm on, but I understand it. Card's pretty good. They're going to reveal Lucy to special summon another Plotty. I do actually really like Lucy. Lucy's a really sick card. They're going to mill the Prodigy. That's really unfortunate. Tribute, set a monster, and then set a back row. Yes, chef. Let's go for our skill here. We're going to draw up to 6. Give me the Eternity Ether Dragon. And what's our other card? Widespread is pretty solid. What are we leading here? I assume it's going to be the Evil Dragon of Darkness. They do have a response. I assume this is Shady. I mean, if they want a Shady here, that's totally fine. Let's go Evil Dragon of Darkness. We're going to get some mills going. We don't hit anything important. Let's go Curse of a Dragon. You got something for me here? No. Okay. Let's go Battle Tested Gaia. You got something for me here? Surely they Shady this, right? This is like the cleanest Shady of all time. I mean, if they don't, I won't. Capture. Okay, that makes sense. We do get to go Evil Dragon of Darkness here. Let's go for the effect. We're going to mill and whiff, unfortunately. Let's go Eternity Ether Dragon. Treat you as 2 tributes. We're going to pay the 500. We're going to blow up one of the Plotties and then set our widespread and go combat. We're going to get rid of the other Plotty because we don't want them having graveyard setup. And we don't know what this set is. They do still have another card in hand. Let's see what they've got. They don't have a skill to work with, so this is all engine. They're going to flip up the Excutie Lucy, who cannot currently get over anything on our board, even with the position change, which feels really nice. They're going to set it. Hi, Card Trooper. God, this deck is so cool. I love new Excutie. It's so fun. Literally, the second this deck gets a new skill or just gets the cards out of the skill so you can play a generic skill, it's so much better. Really, really good mills for them there. They're going to go Saturnius Orb. They're going to send a card to draw 2. If they find Scrambles here, they just have, like, the greatest Contact Fusion of all time. They're going to go Lucy Effect to swap my position. I assume it's going to be the Ether to get over it cleaner. Or they could just be the Battle Test. Yeah, that makes sense. They might try to shuffle it away. Balloon Batier comes down. They get to do the effect. They're going to get the Leia back, which is really nice. Hello, Leia. That's going to help them get over some of our monsters with the 300 attack and defense shrink. Tribute over for the Floa. They do actually have access to the Contact Fusion here. The Excutie Leia Frontier, the brand new card, which is really sick. They're going to add back the Plotty. Makes sense. This is how they get to their Contact Fusion. Tribute off or for a Lumiere. Okay, this is getting really scary really fast. They're going to shuffle back, I assume, the Floa here. Oh, the Lumiere itself. That makes sense. Goodbye, Battle Tested Gaia. I mean, if we make it through this turn without losing too much, we might actually be okay. They're going to reveal Leia to summon Plotty. They're going to Contact Fuse away after milling. There goes a Scramble. I think it's their second Scramble they've milled. Yeah, second Scramble. So they do only have 1 left in deck. They're going to Contact Fuse away for Leia Frontier. He's going to get the 3K and draw a card. This card is so phenomenal. I really cannot wait for the day that we get Lilius and the... Oh, Scout. That's not a card that I expected to see. That's interesting. They're going to shuffle a bunch back, draw 2 cards. They're really searching for some extra engine here to get them out of this. I wonder if they're on any back row removal. But continuing my thought, the second we get access to like Lilius and Lumiere Frontier out of the skill, this deck is going to feel so phenomenal. Yep, Lumiere Frontier. They're going to shuffle back our Eternity Ether Dragon. If they don't have back row removal, we do get to survive this turn, which is pretty nice. Here's Leia. And a back row. Yes, chef. We're going to go combat. We're going to widespread this Leia Frontier. And we are going to take a good chunk of damage here, but we're not dead. All right, let's see if we can play through a back row. We're going to activate our skill, drop to 5, or drop to 6, rather. Stack our Eternity Ether Dragon. Let's see what we got. Not exactly what I was looking for, but also not the end of the world. Let's go Bloom Batier here. I just can't words. We're going to summon out Bloom Batier, I guess. So the second Bloom Batier is not really doing anything for us. We'll go Curse of Dragon. I'm cursing my dragon. Let's go Dragon's Inferno to hit this potential capture. Widespread. Good lord, that's a crazy hit. We're going to Tribute over you. Let's go Eternity Ether Dragon. Pop you. We're going to set this Shady and go combat. We are really at the end of our rope here. They could draw into some nuts here and just kill us into the sun. We're going to hope that Shady is enough to get us through this turn, because another draw here could actually kind of get us out of this. I think a Gaia would really, really make this work. Let's see. Here's Lumiere. I'm actually really tempted to just Shady this away, but we'll leave it for now. They're going to reveal Ram for Plotty. I think I'm actually okay with that. Plotty's going to mill. There's an Overrush Storm. Okay, so we know they're on it. I don't know if they have one in hand, though. Here's Lilius. Okay, this gets shadied. 100%. Every day of the week, this gets shadied. All right. Do the rest of the cards in their hand to get through our board. They're just going to set. Okay. So, problem here. I don't actually know. Those are pretty good. But I don't think we can clear everything we need to clear to win this game, unfortunately. We're going to go Battle-Tested Gaia here. We're going to mill and special summon. We're going to get... I mean, Swift is pretty nice here. Let's go Gaia Conqueror of Champions. Shuffle these back. Conqueror is going to blow up their back row, because I fear God. What do we want back in deck? I think the Phoenix Dragon. Let's blow this up. That's their third scramble gone. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. Having no ways of getting our life points back here is really annoying. We're going to Tribute Summon using you. And then Battle-Tested Gaia over you. We're going to go set the Shady. I have to make sure I'm reading this right. 0 cards in hand. Yeah. Okay. We'll Tribute over you. We'll go Battle-Tested Gaia. Special Summon Swift. Nice. Let's get Piercing and Shady online. That's pretty good. That one's pretty good. All right. All right, let's go combat. We're going to hit over... I think they all have 500 defense, right? So it doesn't really matter. For 21. If I had gone for Piercing, I think I could have killed them here, but I was just too afraid. If that back row had been anything like Buffered Slime, I would have felt really bad. But we do have a Shady online. They're out of scrambles. They're kind of running out of engine. We might actually get out of this. This deck is feeling surprisingly good. I won't lie. This Gaia package is really sick. I like it a lot. All right, they're going to drop the 5. What do they got here? They've got no scrambles. We know that for a fact. We do know they have Floas to get things back into rotation, but they're out of Batiers. Hey, Lumiere. How's it going? We still have the Gaia package online next turn. This feels really good. I can't believe Swift drew us into Potigree. That was nuts. They're going to reveal Leia for Plotty. Yep, that's fine. They're going to summon out the Leia, try to go for Leia Frontier, I assume. And that's going to eat a Shady. 100%. They're going to mill, sending a Lucy. Here's Leia. Eat this Shady. We're going to send the Cursed Dragon to grave. Drop you and... I think I fear the Leia Frontier the most of all. I think Lumiere is fine. Even a Lumiere Frontier I don't think kills us. They're going to set and set. And then, folks, I think we might be getting out of this game with our lives. On 400 life and a dream, Lumiere is going to activate. They're going to send itself back and something else. The Swift is going to go. And then pass it over. We do get to go for piercing here. Those are pretty good, actually. Oh, ooh. Star Protector's protection. Okay, that is a problem for us. I will not lie. We can't kill them here. And I think we're out of resources, unfortunately. So this Gaia Conqueror of Champions isn't really doing anything for us. Do we have a Curse of Dragon already in the graveyard? We do. Let's go battle tested Gaia. We're going to tribute over you. Gaia effect. We're going to mill. And then we're going to make the Swift using you and you. And then, what's the play here? I think it might just be another battle tested Gaia. Right? Get some more cards back in our deck. Make sure we don't deck out and die. Mill. Shuffle. This does keep us in the game pretty nicely. We have 5 cards in deck for next turn, but we do want to get piercing, so I have to leave a card in hand. Probably the Curse of Dragon. I think we just set the Evil Dragon of Darkness and we leave it at that. Let's go Swift Gaia, get piercing. Swing it over the 5. Let's see what we've got. Damn. That Protector's protection is really brutal. Wait, where is it? Hello? Yeah. Only took card attack once. So they have Plotty here. They have Alilius. Do they have Lumiere? Loa. That's going to get them pretty much anything they need. I probably could have gone Evil Dragon of Darkness to get Eternity back, but I don't know. This is a weird game. They're going to reveal Floa to summon out Plotty. Yeah, I think we might be dead here. Because they have a Lair Frontier, and that's exact lethal over the 26. Oh, man. This is a close game, though. Oh, they're going to tribute over the Plotty. Okay. What are they going for here? Saturnius Orb, trying to dig for the last 2 cards in deck. They're going to send the well, I can't talk. Lilius. Find Lumiere. Here's Lilius. This Floa still gets to activate. I don't think we're dead here. Here's Floa. Floa gets to add back Leia. Oh, unless that last card in hand is a Plotty. Oh, no. Leia shrinks us. Okay, they do still have this. They're going to shuffle back. Here's Leia. Yeah, and then that's 500. Yeah, they got it. All right. That was sick. Oh, I mean, they can just attack direct twice. What am I talking about? They shuffled us back. Oh, a second Leia. Yeah, that's fine. Go combat. They're going to swing in and kill us. All right. That felt like a really solid back and forth. I am still really happy with how this performed, despite this deck having literally no testing. Let's hop to the next one. Okay, I might look like Yuga, but it is actually I, Yugi Moto in disguise. Moto? I don't remember. Anyway, I am playing the Dork Magician, and I am about to get killed into the sun by Dark Galaxy. Is everyone ready for a good time? Wow, this hand is terrible. Anyway, please don't kill me into the sun, Chef. I'm a good boy. I do my good things. So problem with this deck is, you don't play a lot of monsters because you want to see a lot of spells. But you don't want to see a lot of spells turn 1 because then you just, this happens. And the Dark Galaxy player pops your 1 monster and says, die into the sun. And you go, okay. And then you die into the sun. Simple things, really. You know, just simple, funny things. Anyway, they're going to go Chaos Cool Stars, pitch the Void Veil Hell Rider. Going to go Universal Storm, hit our only lifeline. Go another Universal Storm. Hit the Dark Resonance Burst that we needed to win the game on the Crackback, and then they're going to go for this skill and actually kill us into the sun. Here's Void Veil Requiem. They're going to add it to their hand, and then here's Dark Matter Explorer. Okay, actually, Dark Matter Requiem isn't the worst thing in the world. We can get through this. Oh, they're going for the second back row. Okay. So goodbye, Dark Magic Attack. I didn't need you, so that's actually not that big of a deal. They're going to normal summon out a Chaos Cool Stars and summon out the Requiem, I assume. Requiem's going to get a slight increase in attack. Oh, what does he go to? 31? That's not nothing. We're going to take half our life and then draw up to a new set of hands. We're going to see what we can do with this. That's not good. That's not very good at all. No, not whatsoever. All right, let's go Dark Magic Curtain. Curtain effect. We're going to pay some life. Oh, hey, that guy. I like that guy. Oh, hey, that girl. That's pretty good. We'll add them both. Put you on the bottom, I guess. Let's go with the skill. We'll reveal the DMG that they just saw. No. Awesome. Card that doesn't do anything. Really what I wanted to see. Maybe I should cut the Star Protectors from this deck. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. So I'm going to summon out this Dark Magician. And then I'm going to summon out this Dark Eradicator Sorcerer. I'm going to summon out the Dark Magician's Curtain. Go Dark Magician Girl. And then Secret Order again. Summon you back. Set. Sorcerer, I guess. Yeah. Gameplay. Yeah. Did I play that turn wrong? I don't know. I cleared their board, so it's not nothing. Maybe they brick. Who knows? Maybe they brick. It's not impossible. I've seen it happen before. Not like that though. Not quite like that. Oh no. All right, they're gonna get the skill and probably just kill me. I don't really know. They opened Pot of Greed. Like, what is a man to do? They're gonna set the Requiem on top of the deck. Cataphract's gonna send the Requiem, add the Requiem. Yep, pretty good. Here's the Universal Storm for the card that doesn't do anything. Nice. Here's the Void Veil Requiem. Maybe they just don't have the contact fusion material. I don't think that's the case. Hold. Everyone, hold. Is my dooming for naught? Is there hope in the air after all? Oh my god. There's hope. There is cope in the wind. I'm coping. Are they going to kill the DMG? Oh, Sorcerer. Okay. Let's draw up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on. Illusion of Execution. Go. Reveal the guy. Wait a minute! Dark Magic Attack! Dark Magic Blast! Stone of the Dark Magicians! Yes! I will summon out my Dark Eradicator Sorcerer! And then Dark Resonance Burst! Go, my Dark Magician! Reach heights never thought before possible! Swing and kill! Folks, this entire video, I'm gonna take I'm gonna reveal behind the curtain. 2 hours and 15 minutes of recording was worth it for that tool right there. All right, next up, let's go find something else funny to do. All right, here we go. Duel of the Protagonists. What do we got here? Yeah, that is a... Oh, what the hell is this, dog? Wow, that's a miserable hand. I'm gonna draw for turn and set. And... double tribute off for what I can only assume is an extra floor. Secret Order out a Galactica Oblivion. Yes, chef. That is a really good rip. We'll reveal the 7th Magician. We'll grab you and probably has to be the fusion, right? God, it doesn't feel good. We'll pitch this witch. Go strange witch. Summon back. Go witch effect. Ditch you. Summon out Seven's Road. Oh, I don't have any attributes in my graveyard. I was like, why can't I activate this effect? I understand now. Charmy Witch. Charmy Witch to mill first. Mill a Seven's Road. That's interesting. Hello. Really? Okay. Okay. If you've seen my Seven's Road deck profile, you know that what I'm about to do is punishable by death. So you're gonna have to ignore this, okay? Please do not perceive this. I need you all to not perceive what I just did, okay? We're not gonna talk about it. We're just gonna, it's just another body on board. It's gonna hit for 33. It's gonna be all okay. Okay, realistically, past that bit, that was actually really sick. We turned a nothing hand into the sickest hand of all time thanks to Seven's Wonder Fusion. This card is unbelievable. It is so good. All right, they're going to draw up to 5. Let's see what they got for us. Down comes Galax Eve, and here comes Universal Storm for our second Seven's Wonder Fusion. That's a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Our current board is still, not nothing to beat over. And the Universal Storm means they don't have another extender in hand. So they got 3 cards to break this. Three cards for 3 boss monsters. Let's see what they got. Light Galaxy can definitely do it with the right set of cards, but they got to have it. Here's Transcend Linak. Activates Fusion. Okay. This is a good start. Fuse Eve. They're going to put the Fusion back on top of the deck and summon out again. Linak, yep. Is this a power Linak play? That's got to be the last card in hand, right? Galactica Fusion draw. Oh, they're using it as draw fodder. Trying to find an answer here. And they can't. They cannot out the board. Let's go. GG's. All right. Let's hop on over to the other version of the deck. All right. Other version of the deck, the one that I am significantly less confident in because I have not really done a whole lot of testing with it, but it's going to be okay. Everything will be a-okay. It'll just work out fine. It's going to be great. We're going to do great. Hand looks pretty solid, actually. I don't remember how this skill works. Hang on. Maybe this hand is not good. Add, send. Yes, chef. I can Chariot. That's pretty funny. I need a way to get a witch into the graveyard, though, so this is kind of weird. Stealth Adjic. Huh? Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right. It's not the card that I wanted to see. I do not have a way to do this. That is so sad. Yeah, dog. This hand wasn't doing anything anyway. It's fine. Well, we both had a pretty nothing turn 1. God, I hate Sorcerer. Wow, this card should not be in this deck. This should be Amazing Dealer. All right. I'm already convinced this list is wrong. If y'all suggest it, this will probably be the first one that I do because I love these decks a lot. It'll probably be a double feature because there's 2 variants of the deck. No, that's not going to do much. I think Sorcerer needs to leave. I definitely think Sorcerer needs to leave. All right. Screw you too, dog. Here's Meteor Drake. Reveal, reveal, reveal. That's a really bad hit for them. Rocket Medic is going to go to the bottom. All right, so they don't get Shady. They don't get Pot of Greed, but they do get Meteor Flare Fusion, which is very bad. I'm just kind of praying against hope that, they don't have a way of activating their skill. I can pray and hope all I want. It's not going to change reality. Legendary Magician. That's a bunch of whiffs. I mean, I guess they can put the Meteor Dragon in the graveyard. So if they have a Meteor Dragon's chick, they can add it back and then go to the skill. So not a full, well, if they're sending that, they probably don't have that. So I'm feeling pretty good. It's looking like a real slow game here. Down comes another Meteor Drake. That's terrifying. That's a bunch of whiffs. That's a very pretty trap. Wait, that's really pretty. I love the way Prismatic looks on that. Or Starlight? Yeah, it's Starlight. And a set, and a set. Yes, chef. All right, we're going to lose our board. Not the end of the world. Let's make this happen. Might be okay. Seventh Wonder Excel. We're going to reveal. We're going to add Fusion. We're going to send you. And then we're going to go Sorcerer. Roadstar. Roadstar. Sorcerer. Revive. Make sure. Yep. You. And then you. What's the plan here? Send. That's a really unfortunate whale. If I go this, pitch this, I have to do it in this order. Roadstar. Contact Fuse for Gladimagia. Let's shrink you down. Goodbye, Strange Witch. Seventh Road Witch. Send you. Summon you. Get big. All right. Let's get swinging. Getting for some not insignificant damage here. They got 2 back row set. I'm pretty sure we know one of them is the fusion spell. They have yet to be able to activate their skill. So we've kind of been getting away with murder here. And by getting away with murder, I mean barely hanging on by the skin of our teeth. I will say, even though this build is definitely wrong, I still really don't like this skill as much as the other skill, I think. There's Pot of Greed. There's no way they don't have a skill target by now. Unless they're just not playing any. Here's Meteor Black Rising. Yep, that makes sense. They finally did get it off. Red Eyes Moon Dragon's going to get revealed. They're going to add the Meteor Dragon because we know they already have the fusion spell into rotation. But how much is this going to set us back? Oh, hi, Meteor Drake. Nobody Phantom Thief, Rocket Medic, Trap Hole, and Sacred Tower and Collapse. Yes, Chef. Gotta watch out for that. This is their last Meteor Drake, though, so I'm feeling pretty okay. Especially knowing that, you know, it whiffed. Down comes Meteor Dragon's Chick. They're going to get to add... All right, so I guess they don't whiff. They get to add the Meteor Drake back. Or the Meteor Dragon. That's... All right, that's not really what I would have done, but I get it. We do still have one more Wonder Fusion left in deck, and Gearpold... Or not Gearpold. Seven's Chariot is pretty sick. Meteor Flare Fusion's going to come down. That's the second Meteor Dragon, so they still have one in hand. They can't currently... Okay. Hi, Meteor Black Dragon. Do they have a second fusion they're going for? Because they still have a Moon Dragon and a Meteor Dragon in grip. If that's the case, I think we just die. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, we're dead. That is Giga Death. Well, we tried our hardest. They're going to kill us from full here. It is what it is. Go combat. Punch over, and then 235's direct is well over lethal. I'll leave this as it is. This was not the best showing of this deck, but it's pretty close to the spellcaster deck that already exists. And if you want to see a more thorough version of the deck, I'll probably have a full deck profile up on it relatively soon, because I probably will do this deck first, unless people suggest otherwise. All right, second to last deck, we are on Excutie into Light Galaxy. Yes, Chef. I like seeing Light Galaxy. It's I feel like I don't see it that much right now because it's just red eyes everywhere. Hand looks really solid. Let's see what they got. Down comes Galactiar Eve. It's a fantastic start. They're going to activate the effect. Pitch a extra explorer. No, extra explorer. I have been recording for so long that my brain is starting to fry itself. They're going to go Secret Order here, summon out a Galactica Oblivion from hand. That is looking like some nice fodder for our Lumiere here. They're going to set 2 and tribute off for a random other set, and then 1 back row. We're going to draw into Star Protector's Protection. That's pretty solid. Let's lead Lumiere here. Why did I do that? I was supposed to go balloon butcher here. Whoops. That's not good. Let's summon out the Leia. Go Lumiere. Shuffle you back. Go balloon. I can't mill because I'm dumb, and we'll pass. So that play was supposed to be a little different. I just kind of am dumb. It's okay. We're going to go Protector's Protection. We're going to get rid of you. They're going to get one attack this turn. Am I in danger? Yes. Am I going to die for my sins? I don't know. We're going to find out. Second Oblivion on field. There's the likelihood of them having one in hand. What? I shuffled it into the... Oh, I shuffled it into the deck. Oh, pain. Oh, it happened to draw both. I don't get to know what they added. What? We're going to trip both off for the extra plur. Extra plur effects going to activate. They're going to mill and add back. They don't have a fusion in graveyard, so I'm actually not too worried about this. They're going to get Linak. Down comes the Linak, and here's under the Linak. Is this power? Do they have an Epherai engrave? I don't know. We're going to find out. They sure do. This is going to hurt a lot. We're not dead, but this is going to hurt. Back goes the Epherai. Back goes the Linak. 6,200 attack points. Ow. There goes my entire life. Let's drop to new 5. Okay, and this time I will not screw this up. Balloon Batier. I got something. Let's go Balloon. Let's revive. The Lumiere here looks pretty good. They do have something. Let's go Plotty. We just saw this Curse of the Rising Light in hand. Let's go Plotty. We'll go Leia here. Well, we're going to go into Leia Frontier because we have the ability to. What is that background? My own card against me! How dare you! That's really bad, actually. That's like game-losingly terrible. Let's go Leia Frontier, draw. Lumiere is really not what I wanted to see there. We can go Curse of the Rising Light here. We'll put Power Line Act to defense, draw 2. Okay, not the end of the world. Let's go Lumiere, shuffle yourself back. Shuffle you back. We can go Plotty here, revealing the other Lumiere. Let's mill. Let's go Leia. Leia Frontier. Leia Frontier. Draw Card Trooper. Let's keep going. Mill and draw. Another Leia. I want to keep this Lumiere in hand, I think. No, I can't. Oh, I really can't. I have to shuffle this thing away. Because otherwise I can't out the... Oh, no, yeah, I can. It has 16 defense. Let's punch in. In for 3K. In for 12. Let's pass it back. That was a really cool turn. Leia Frontier is a fantastic card. Even with that blunder turn 1, I'm feeling like we're not completely out of this. Galactica Fusion draw. They don't get to spawn a card anymore. They're going to send Fusion to draw 1. Set. 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 Folks, we might actually be getting out of this. Star Protector's Protection. Yes, chef. Let's go Pot of Avarice. Let's get some cuties back. Draw 2. I'm actually very content to just sit on this and then swing in with 25. All right, the game has evened itself back up. We've got 2 captures waiting. Oh, no. That's bad. Please don't hit the right one. Thank God. Oh, this is... We need to capture this very badly. Oh my god, I don't know if I can. Oh, if it's Buster, we're screwed. That's a 9, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, we're dead. Damn! Wow, I really should have just flipped the Lion-Ack, huh? All right. GG's. That game was so winnable. I didn't realize I should have flipped the Lion-Ack. Yep, that's on me. All right, I'll leave that in. That felt like a decent game. We clawed our way back in and then lost because I misplayed. That's totally fine. This deck had the capability of winning that game, and I'm totally okay with that. A better player than me would have seen the line and would have taken it. Let's hop over to our last deck of the day. All right, final game of the day. We're on Hero into Dark Galaxy, which is, you know, battle of the... Get ready to see this around. Sorry, my brain is not functioning. I am 3 hours into this recording session because some of these decks just could not get a replay to save their life. And believe it or not, Dark Magician wasn't one of them. Somehow. Oh, my lord. It's all right. We're here to have fun. I am still having fun. I do just, at the end of the day, I love playing Rush Duel. So you could stick me in a chair for 3 hours, tell me to go play Rush Duel, and I will say, yes, chef. Which deck am I playing? They're going to draw for a turn, and let's see what they've got for us. They can't get Piercing unless they have Tyrfing, which is pretty nice for us. They're going to lead Chaos Cool Stars. Universal Storm is going to hit one of our double Shadies that are both offline because I forgot to card in my hand, but it's fine. Nothing's fine. I'm not worried. It's fine. Requiem Contact's going to activate, which means that was probably their last bit of back row removal. But I'm actually not too worried about them being able to kill me here unless their Requiem really hits it big. But the fact that they're getting a Pale Rider off the top here leads me to believe that they're just going to be playing this pretty passively. So I'm not too worried. Here comes Void Veil Requiem. Pretty big guy. Maybe they have Tyrfing. Here's the Requiem effect. They're going to mill that Pale Rider that they stacked. And activate Tyrfing. All right, we're going to take a decent chunk of damage here, but so long as they don't swing straight, I think we're actually going to be in a really solid spot because this Argent can find us like anything, literally anything, any vanilla in the deck Argent can find. But who knows? Maybe they will just swing straight and I will cry. All right, well, why do I speak things into existence? Why didn't I keep a Sparkman in hand? What am I doing? All right, pass it over to us. We're going to drop to 5. We are going to leave this card Trooper, I think. Troop and dupe. God bless. Let's leave this Argent. Reveal Heliosphere and reveal. Hit the Sparkman. Hit Descend. Hit the Potter. Buddy, you got 3 targets in deck and you hit the same card that I already had 2 of. What are we doing here? How did that happen? All right. Well, let's get rid of you, I guess. Shrink you down. We'll add Fusion. We can go Circulation here. Reveal Heliosphere. Send you. Draw 3. Where are all of my monsters? All right, let's go Star Restart. We're going to put you back. Get Voltic Wingman? I think so. Use off. Do I have all the targets engraved for Heliosphere? I think I do. Let's go Voltic for Heliosphere. Probably not correct, but I want to do it, so I'm doing it. Hello, Heliosphere. Let's draw a monster, please. A Yaha. Ooh, I get the back row, actually. If it's widespread, I get Giga punished, but also this is game, so I'm going to get greedy. Let's set and swing in for lethal. Ah, I've been owned. Could be Strange Wall. Strange Wall! Still lethal, I'm pretty sure, right? I haven't done the math. We're going to swing in. We're 100 off. That's bleak. It's actually probably fine. Anyway, yeah, Heliosphere, pretty damn good card, right? This card's really, really solid. I'm glad I got to show it off. So even if we lose this game, I feel pretty good about how this ended up. All right, they're going to draw up for 5, and let's see what they can do here. They got a lot at their disposal. This deck is absolutely capable of pushing through some pretty big fields, but I got 2 Shadies and a Trap Hole, so I don't think I've ever felt more safe in my entire life, I'm going to be honest. Contact Dark Matter Explorer. Is Dark Matter 1 word now? I just realized that. What? That's so strange. Isn't Dark Matter Requiem 2 words? Is it not consistent? Do they have like a character limit? What's happening? All right, they're going to fuse away for Beyond Probe. Do I even hit this? Yeah, I do. We're going to send this Percentatrix, flip you down. As long as I don't activate this other Shady, this guy is still online, which is kind of crazy. I guess I could draw into Miracle Fusion and turn him back online anyway. Requiem Contact's going to activate. They didn't use their draw previously, if I remember correctly, so they do get to just find anything they want here. They're going to stack the Requiem and draw it, I assume. No. Cataphract to add it back. Yes, chef. And Pale Rider. Yes, chef. Cataphract activates. They're going to mill the Requiem, add back the Requiem. That is a very cool part about this skill. I do like it a lot. Hello, Requiem. And go to the graveyard. I'm pretty sure that was their final lifeline. I think we're good. And they are going to swing in themselves and end the game. GG's. All right. Let's hop out of these games and give a little bit of a conclusive talk, shall we? All right. Back at the shop screen. And I gotta say, this video was kind of a mess to make. It will definitely be a lot more streamlined the next time I do it. This is a very rough concept, very loose, that I was just kind of working with because I thought it would be fun. And then I ended up recording for 3 hours. So ideally that does not happen again, but I still had a lot of fun. This new box, Eternal Genesis, is really sick. As I've hopefully shown off, I think there are a lot of really awesome decks that are being introduced into the format, and some old staples coming back for another round. I personally am really excited to be playing Excutie again. I think that Seven's Road is really, really sick, as always. I'm actually very curious to see if I can find a little bit more to do with the Dragon deck, because I think Eternity Ether Dragon is a very, very cool card. And then I really do want to play more around with Dark Galaxy, because that deck rocks. Light Galaxy is a little rough, I'd say, unfortunately. I would love to find a build that does feel a little bit better, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not really the highest priority on my docket unless y'all really want to see it down in the comments below. Hero still looks fantastic as always. Heliosphere in that final game you saw is an absolute powerhouse. I think this box is really, really sick, and I think the structure deck too, while it's not the best deck in the room and does still definitely struggle, it's pretty good value at the very least. So I hope you all enjoyed this very long video. I actually don't know how long this is going to be when it's cut down, but for me, it's been a very long time. And I hope to see your input on what I should do next. If not, I'll probably just lead off with either Excutie or Seven's Road. I know I've visited those 2 decks very recently, but you know, they're cool and I like them a lot. If it's not those, it'll probably be Dark Galaxy just to get something a little different into the mix. But do expect me to be making deck profiles for all 3 of those, unless y'all say otherwise. Those will be very, very soon. With all that said, thank you all so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I appreciate you all so much, especially if you stuck around to the end of this, because this is pretty experimental and I'm not really sure if this is going to go over super well, but I had fun. So if you want to see me in other places, I go live on Twitch every Monday, Saturday, and Sunday. Mondays is at 6 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays is at 12 noon EST. So if you want to see me there, come by and hang out. We do a lot of variety. I have a lot of fun. If you want to follow me on Blue Sky, I'm over there as well. But that is going to be it for me. I need to get some water. Bye-bye.